What's up everyone, Zach Seif here, and today we're going to talk about the Hotone Ampero Switch. So why am I talking about this thing today? Well, for many of you, you've seen this on my channel dozens of times in my gig vlogs and rig rundowns. Basically what it is a 2-button TRS foot switch that you can plug into a modeling unit or perhaps another effects pedal that has some sort of aux or expression jack in order to open up access to additional functions on the unit. So in the case of the FM3, you can assign both of these buttons to an additional hold and a press feature so that you can unlock more foot switches for your unit, essentially turning your FM3 into an FM5. And today I'm going to go over exactly how I set it up, how to program it, and how you can set it up in order to expand the capabilities of your Fractal unit. So let's get started. So as you can see, we have FM3 edit up and running. This is my current Wedding Crasher 2025 preset, which is available for download. Just hit me up. And if we come over here to FC edit, where we would configure foot switches, you can see that I have the traditional 3 buttons of the FM3 here. Number 1, which toggles channels 1, 2, and 3. Second button, which toggles channels 4, 5, and 6, and button 3, which allows me to get scenes 7 and 8, plus my tuner with the hold feature. Now, I also have 2 additional switches here in view number 2, where we have chorus phaser on and off and pitch boost on and off. And this is how we're going to get access to the Hotone Ampero switch. All right, so in order to set up the Ampero foot switch for the first time, you're going to have to go into your settings menu on the Fractal, and then you're going to make your way down to FC controllers onboard switches. You're going to page over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till you get to the stand-in switches. And what you're going to do is this is going to allow whatever you have plugged into pedal 1, which is where I have this plugged into through the TSR jack. This is going to allow the Fractal to send specific switch commands to this unit. If you don't do this, you won't be able to use the pedal as intended. So I only use one layout, which is layout number 1. So I'm going to assign it to layout 1 presets, which is by default. And again, you can change all these with the main knob here. And then you're going to navigate over to the right. And because I already have switches 1, 2, and 3 set up by default on the unit to the stock 3 switches, this unit now needs to know that this button here is going to be switch number 4. So you use this knob to move it over to number 4, and then you're going to do the same thing here for the ring. You want the same layout so that the pedal can talk to this specific layout, and then again page over, you're going to set it to switch number 5. Because if this is switch number 4, this is switch number 5. You have now successfully set up your stand-in switches, so now we just have to program the button real quick in order to talk to the Fractal to have the appropriate press and toggle features. So in order to do this second and final step before you can program it, again, setup. This time you're going to go down 4 buttons to I/O, which is your input-output menu, and then you're going to page over to pedal. And here you'll find switch settings for switch 1, which is what we are currently plugged into. So you have to make sure that it says exactly what's on here. There are different functions that you can assign on the Fractal for these different stand-in switches. Make sure that it says follow hardware instead of virtual toggle, because this way the Ampero foot switch knows to follow what the Fractal is telling it to. And then when you page down to the polarity, it just has to be set to normally open, momentary make. I couldn't tell you what this means, but if you set it to close, it won't have the proper communication in order to make this both a press and a toggle feature. And then you're going to copy the exact same thing here for the ring. Again, this is a TRS cable, so the tip affects one switch and the ring affects the other one. So again, follow hardware, normally open, momentary make. If it's on any other setting, you can't get both a tap and hold feature for both of these buttons. So now that everything is configured and ready to go inside of the unit, we can come over here and assign it the exact same way that we would assign all of the other foot switches on the unit. So for the first button, when I tap it, I want it to turn my chorus effect on and off, and then when I press and hold it, it will turn my phaser on and off. To help me demonstrate exactly how this works in real time, I've got my beautiful custom Aristides F360R. We're going to demonstrate how right now my basic clean tone has no chorus, no phasing, but when I press this button, it'll go from a regular clean tone to having chorus. I press it again, turns off. Now I press and hold. Phaser's on. I hold it. It's off. Exactly the same functionality as the built-in stock foot switches. On the second button here, we have my pitch block, which will allow me to obviously detune. So we'll go to a gain sound for this, just so you can hear it. So right now we're in standard E tuning. I press it, pitch block turns on. All right, and then when I go to press and hold it, it'll turn on a boost that I normally just use for single coil guitars. That is assigned to a control switch here to give me a 6 dB boost. So if we go back to the clean channel to kind of better demonstrate what this is going to do, I'll play a passage with a split coil tone real quick. I do the boost. It's a 6 dB boost. So that's great if I need to bring out my LSL Satakoy custom, or if I just have a passage where I'm using a single coil type sound and I just need a little bit more volume in order to get it to cut through properly. So again, I'll demonstrate that with another passage. So again, the entire point of this is to add 2 additional buttons to your Fractal unit so that you can access more effects, control switches, whatever you would need more buttons to do. Now, please note that this really only applies to the FM3, as it's been discussed ad nauseum in both the Fractal forums on their website and also the Facebook groups that I am very active in. So this is mainly just for the FM3. If you're using the Axe Effects 3, you're most likely already using a FC6 or FC12 and have 6 to 12 foot switches already, which should be more than enough for 99% of people. And if you're using the FM9, again, that comes with 9 switches already. You don't really need this. But for the FM3, and again, this works for a ton of different modeling units as long as it supports two-way TRS connections. That is going to wrap up today's video. Just want to do a quick demonstration on this because I've been asked dozens of times what this thing does, how to set it up, and how to get it working and talking to your Fractal unit. Be sure to check it out. I am not affiliated or sponsored by Hotone in any way, shape, or form as of the timing of this video, but if you guys are watching and want to help out your boy, you know how to get to me. Hit that subscribe button. It takes 1 second to do it, and it helps out the channel a ton as I try to expand my reach and have my videos reach more musicians such as yourselves. Be sure to like it, share it with your friends. Until next time, everyone, keep on following your dreams.